5 exact steps of how to drop 10 kg body fat in 90 days without sacrificing what you love. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the exact steps you need to be taking in order to get yourself into the shape of your life, dropping 10 kg of body fat in 90 days without giving up your socials, without giving up some of your favorite food. Because something I see so often is when it comes to getting into the shape of life, you think you have to sacrifice everything, which causes you to go off the rails when you start making a little bit of progress, or feeling like you're on it and off of it, or you've got that all or nothing mentality, which, to be honest with you, is utter bullshit. And here's why. This now isn't going to be an episode around eat your protein, eat your carbs, eat your veg, eat your fats. This is 5 steps that is truly going to transform mind, body, and lifestyle, which is then going to allow you to build the consistency that you need to drop the 10 kg of body fat in 90 days. So, step 1. And this is exactly where most people go wrong. You need to look at the person you currently are, what you're currently doing on a day-to-day basis in terms of your behaviors. You then need to look at your future self, the leaner, the fitter, the stronger version of yourself, and understand what they're doing on a day-to-day basis compared to you right now. Expose yourself to those variants of different behaviors. From there, you need to embody those behaviors straight away of what your future self is now doing. Because if you can now embody those straight away and start actioning those exact behaviors, you're going to drive yourself to that better body far quicker than if you just now behave like you've always behaved. This is now understanding your future self. Exactly what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. Exactly how they're able to implement the behaviors that drive a successful, lean, strong, and fit body on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. Step number 2. Once you've understood step number 1, get yourself stuck into step number 2. Look at your dream result, how you're going to feel, how you're going to look, what it's going to allow you to do, what it now gives you, who you now become in that journey. And then from there on in, work backwards in months, weeks, and days. This all needs to be understood in terms of actual behavior. So 12 months in the future, how do you look? How do you feel? Where's your fitness? Where's your strength? Where's your body? How lean are you? 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, down to a month, down to a day. Get crystal clear on what that dream result looks like in 12 months, 9 months, 6 months time, not just a 10 kg body fat, how you truly want to live and how you truly want to feel. From there, work backwards and understand the exact behaviors you now need to live with in this moment to progress forwards. Because when you can break it up like that, yes, it does seem like a long way away, but when you break it down in little blocks, it makes it far easier to achieve and do, because you then understand what it really takes to get there in terms of an actual behavior. Results are always in a delayed effect. You have to behave your way to the result. And a result, whether it's a pound off, 10 kg off, doesn't matter what it was. It's an external thing. You don't know how long it's truly going to take. On average, the B2 clients, it takes 90 days because I have the data to back it up. Here, you can see some results. But still, there are things that are going to happen within your life that it may take a little bit longer. It may take even a little bit less. But you're never going to get there until you start behaving like the way you need to. And when you break it down from a 12, 9, 6, 3 month project, even into a weekly project, that is when your behavior is going to become far easier to implement and do on a weekly, monthly basis, because you've broken it down into bite-sized chunks. And then you step into stage 3. And it's called the 3 M's. And it's based on step 2 and step 1. You see how they're now following along. What this now is understanding your minimum, your moderate, and your maximum standards across a week. Every day of your life is going to be different. Every week of your life is going to be different. Every month of your life is going to be different. There's different demands and different constraints. But what you need to understand is what your minimum, moderate, and maximum standards are in terms of what's doable when it's a really busy, really stressful week? What's doable when it's just an okay week? And what's now doable in terms of behaviors when the week's a little bit quieter? Because you can't just go into every single week with the same game plan, because things will crop up. Life will life you. Shit will hit the fan somewhere in your life. And I'm sure you've experienced it before. You then fall off the wagon. You feel like you're all or nothing. And it's because you don't set yourself up correctly from a foundational standpoint. And it's the 3 M's: minimum, moderate, and maximum. So what you need to do is you need to understand weekly and monthly what your diary now looks like in terms of meetings, in terms of family events, in terms of socials, in terms of holidays, in terms of weddings, literally everything in your life, your training, your nutrition, your daily movement. It all needs to be in there. But it gets placed in there when you understand what the demands are when life is happening. Because week 1 of the month versus week 4 might be completely different. And the only way you're going to be able to build this body is through consistency. And the way you build consistency is having a 3M system in play. So what you now need to do is, in this step 3, is get yourself crystal clear on what do your minimum standards look like when life is completely chaotic. Then your moderate, when life's just normal, shall we say. What is doable in a moderate standard level? And then when life's a little bit quieter, like I've said before, what is the maximum amount you can do? They are going to differ in terms of food, training, and steps. But having these 3 M's in place is going to allow you to build consistency no matter what's happening in life, which allows you to continue going forwards, even when life throws you a curveball. And that leads me on to step 4. And I've kind of gone over it already. This is where the BTU systemizer comes into play. Me and my clients sit down every 30 days and we explore exactly what's happening over their entire life, over the next 90 days. And we basically map out their nutrition, their training, and their movement. Around their business, around their career, around their holidays, around their socials. And how that's now done is from step 3. The 3 M's. Because when we can get crystal clear on the 3 M's, you can literally just drag and drop and place in minimum, moderate, and maximum standards across your entire lifestyle. Because you're now starting to truly blend out and flesh out what your weeks are going to feel like, what they're going to look like, so you can predict exactly what needs to happen day upon day, week upon week, month upon month. Meaning you now don't lose consistency. You now don't fall off the wagon. You don't now see yourself as all or nothing, because you have a complete setup in terms of understanding what needs to be done on a given day, which allows you to build the consistency and allows you to build that body in the future. Step number 5. And it's really simple, this one. The hard work of building this out has now been done. This is now about just sticking the foot on this accelerator and being the person that you truly want to be, aka actually actioning this game plan, doing what you said you was going to do. Because most people know what they need to do. I'm sure you watching this right now know exactly what you need to do in terms of tracking your calories, tracking your macros, hit your training sessions. But those 4 steps that I previously spoke about is the very thing that you're missing and the reason why your training and your nutrition keeps falling to bits. So implement those 4, and now step 5. You take aggressive action, foot on the accelerator. There are no ifs or maybes. It's now full steam ahead, because you now have everything in play that's then going to allow you to build the body you want. You've got the consistency. You understand the behaviors. You understand who you need to be. You've removed a mentality of thinking on it and off of it and all or nothing, because you literally have the foundations built out. You now need to just put the foot on the accelerator and do the work. It's that simple. And I actually hate the saying of do the work, but the reality is you've now got it all laid out. If you follow along those 4 steps, steps 5 simple. Just go and implement it. Just go and do it. It's that simple. You are not stuck. You're not frustrated. You're not lazy. You do not have an all or nothing mindset. You are not falling off the wagon. What you are missing is those steps right there to truly build out what you need to do in order to build the body. And if you're still struggling to understand the 3Ms, the BTU systemizer, and the behaviors really needed and the shift of identity to build the body and become the person you want to be, tap the link below, book yourself in for a free 20-minute coaching call, and we'll flesh this out so you're crystal clear on what to action. Catch you in the next episode of where I'm going to show you exactly how one of my clients, Mike, has dropped over 40 kg and got himself into the shape of his life and being the man that he truly wants to be through this system exactly.